Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Minecraft Debunked. Today, we've got a few things to take care of, and I want to get right into it. We're going to talk about a couple of things that I went exploring for, some new trees, and then we're going to talk about some changes that I've made, and then we've got to talk about tragedy that has struck our little town, and then we are going to get into the next project. Yeah, that's right. We've got to move on to the next project. But first, I got some new trees. I think we had the dark oak once before. I think we grew some of that, but just in case we didn't, this is dark oak. I went exploring a general that way direction off camera, several hundred blocks, and got ourselves some spruce wood, some spruce saplings, and I got a few more saplings for the dark oak. These guys, you have to put in a 2x2 for them to grow. That is the only way they'll grow, I'm pretty sure. And that's what they look like if we haven't seen those yet in this series. The spruce, on the other hand, can be grown like so in a single form, and they can also do a 2x2 pattern. And when they do that, they make a thing called podzol around them, and it just kind of makes it look more like there's like some pine straw and stuff like that down. A kind of a good little look, but not what I was going for over here. So I like these trees. These are actually two of my favorite trees. I like the wood. I like the way they look when they have the stripped stuff on them. The stripped being like those strip oak logs there. These are darker, have a different tone to them. But we're going to incorporate these into our projects and builds going forward. I think we're going to like that more. And that's kind of what's going on there. You remember last episode I think it was last episode, I had some stairs and stuff going on. I had some slabs like there is on this side, and I wasn't overly fond of it. So that's what sparked me to go looking for these. And we're going to maybe play with that. Probably not today, probably be in another episode here coming up. We'll try out some new things. So as we move over here, I have done a little bit of work over here on this wall. Been trying out these for some columns and pillars. I'm not 100% sold on them just yet, but I do like them. I think I like them more than this oak wood, and we may use these for our projects going forward as well. But yeah, that's kind of one of the changes that I've made. Pay no attention to this just yet. The other thing that I have done is I've gone ahead and started putting in a wall here, and I've actually gone around the side here and done some more back here. And you're probably thinking, man, it's about time this guy put some walls over here. And you're right, it is. It's about time. So that's what I've kind of been working on a little bit. Obviously, we'll go ahead and fill that in all the way around, and we won't leave it this ugly, plain old stone. We're going to add some detail and some things like that in there. I'm going to be getting rid of these oak logs, and we'll be putting something more like this in over here. So that is kind of what I have done off camera. I also spent quite a bit of time down in my in the caves lighting things up, and I was down at the zombie farm, spent a little bit of time down there. As you can see, most of my stuff is nice and healed up, but we're not there yet. I got this most of the way up. These are pretty close, but I did quite a bit of mining with them, so they're taking some loss. I really need to get something on my shovel here. That is in dire need. We're gonna lose it. But yeah, so that's kind of what I have been doing off camera. Now, earlier I was saying that we had a tragedy that struck our little town, and I gotta tell you, it was a doozy. Can't believe it happened, but I was down AFK at our zombie farm, and I came up here and noticed that there were a couple of zombies roaming around here, and I thought, well, I better sleep and get rid of them. So I did just that, and when I got up, I came over here and noticed that I wasn't hearing any of the villagers when I got over here. And I thought, well, that's not good. So I went down, and sure enough, Sure enough, we had 3 villagers left down there. We had one that was stuck over on the side, and he's still there actually. We had a nitwit down there, and we had 1 zombie villager nitwit down there as well. We had probably close to 4 dozen villagers down there, and they were almost all gone. So what I found out is, if you come up here with me, there was a way for the zombies to get up onto these beds, and they could try and walk over here to get to the villagers. Now, they couldn't get there because of the trapdoors and because there's no path right here. So they were just falling straight down and getting whisked away over to the area where we keep our villagers. And they just had a free snack, basically. That's kind of what happened. So as you can see, we are building up the villagers yet again. I'm gonna go take a nap here real quick, and then I will take you down there and show you kind of the way things look now. Okay, we had our little nap, and I'll take you down here and I'll show you what's been going on. This is one of the survivors. Yes, tell me about it. It was terrible, I know. Yes, I know. I'm horrible. I should have never let it happen. I know. Yeah. I gotta go now. Okay, I gotta go now. Well, that was awkward. So this is what's left. Yeah, so I do still have some villagers down here for some trades now. I did leave the workbenches, as you can see, in there. So these guys picked up their professions. And if we click on them, I do have a fire aspect guy here. He's been changing because I haven't traded with that one yet. Then you have this one here is my mending villager. Pretty expensive, much more expensive than the last one, but I did lock that one in. As you can see, I've traded because I want to make sure we had that one. And then I forget what the other one is. I think the other one is just a trade for paper. But as you can see, we are getting some villagers down here. So slowly building them back up, but we had probably 10 times this many down here before. I mean, we had a bunch. They were barely able to move around in here. So sad day, sad day. And so that is that. And as we go back up top here, let's start talking about our next project. Okay, so our next project, you can see in the background here, I've got some things that I have laid out. And what I have done is I've laid out some very rough groundwork for where we would like to put our trading hall, our villager trading hall. Now, I've talked about this a few times in the series, but what we want to do is we want to get these villagers out of their little holding area down there, and we want to get them into a nice area. We want to get them into a permanent place that looks nice, keeps them safe, and we don't have to worry about nasty zombies coming and getting them and all that stuff. This right here is, again, just a rough idea of about how far from the front maybe that I'd like the trading area to be. It's not going to go up like this. I believe we are actually going to clear out, and this will probably be the floor, and it will come around here. We'll have a corner here, and then we'll come down and we'll have more villagers back here all along. And then something else that I'm going to do on this build is we're going to have a diagonal wall here on the back. And I think this is about where it's going to be, give or take. I haven't worked out all the maths yet to make sure this is where we want it, but this gives you a general idea. So that'll come back here. So we will continue this around to a certain point, and then we'll have another row of villagers that will come across, and it'll meet up here again. So we'll be able to get all the way around and be able to do that. And again, if we want, we can even have another floor on the next level. So that's the game plan. Today, what I'm wanting to do though in the project is I don't want to get too carried away with doing this stuff over here. By the way, this is going to be a causeway that's going to go from the second floor here over. This is going to be a tower or a turret, and there's probably going to be some stairs to be able to come down here to get into the first floor, and you'll be able to go out to the second floor and maybe even up to more stories or whatever we have going on here. But that's what's going to go on here. I'm not going to do too much with it today. What I want to do today is I want to get this started. Now, we're not going to do a lot of detailing. I'm going to get everything kind of mapped out and make sure my math works out and I like the layout. I'll go ahead and I'll get the stone put in kind of like I've done over here. No pillars or anything on the outside, no detailing and texturing and all that. We'll get that done. We'll get this dug down and get a floor in, maybe get a ceiling in, and then we're going to start getting some of our villagers picked up and put in here so we can get them in a nice, safe area. And I think that's going to help out quite a bit. It's certainly going to make me feel better. So kind of here's what I want to do. I like so far this coming off the edge here. And I think the front of this wall is going to be maybe here or maybe up just a smidge. I like having a center line for the doorway. We would have a door either up here, probably up here and down here that would be coming in. So probably actually right here. This would be a door. So let's just take this polished andesite and let's just go ahead and put in something that looks kind of like a doorway. So we can imagine if we were coming in here, boom, we'd be here, and this would be our trading hall. So we want to move this up some. So let me go ahead and actually get rid of this line here. And once we get this line established, that's really going to help establish the rest of the build. Let me get my cobble. And so what we want to do is we want to have, again, we come in through here and I think we have a space here and maybe we have our wall starting right here. So we come here and we go, I'm just going to do every other just to kind of show where that wall will probably be. Something like this. And then of course we want to have a center here and we want this to be an odd number. So if I was to come here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. This would be number 29. I believe I've got that right. Okay, the mathification works out. So that means we can come down here and we know that this line right here is good. So I want to do the same thing over here. I want to have an odd number here. It's time to go sleep again already. Okay, let me go sleep real quick and then I'll come back and we'll pick up on making sure that line looks good. Okay, we're back. I went ahead and brought a bed up here so I didn't have to run over there to sleep. So, yeah, we were over here. Okay, we want this to be an odd number. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. What do you know? We've got that mapped out just right. Perfect. So if I follow this along here and this is all correct, then that means we should have an odd number on this other side as well when we get done. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. That means we could go to right here and come across and we could do something else here. And I think I like that idea. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come here like so, and this will end up being something we do in a different episode, different project. I've got a plan there. So let me double check this, make sure everything's good, and then I'll bring you back if everything works out. Okay, the math all worked out, and what I'm doing is I'm picking up these blocks here that I was using to kind of show where those holding cells were going to go. And I'm going to move those up. What I don't want is I don't want to be able to come in here, wherever our front door is, somewhere around here-ish, and then have a long way to go to get to our villagers, mainly because that's going to be a lot of wasted space that we could use up here. So what I want to do, get my polished andesite back out here. What I want to do is I want to keep about 5 to 7 blocks. That's what I had before, 7, I think. So if we go from right here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That means that right here where Mr. Chicken is, that's going to be where the front of our stuff is going to go. And from over here, I want to go in about 5, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that means that's going to be a corner. So if I was to go through and just kind of put this pattern in here. Okay, I did a little bit trying something out here in between takes, and I think this is kind of sort of what might work. You know, this is the line that we need here to get down to this area, and I think this will work, but you know, we'll just have to try it out and see what happens. It'll change quite a bit once we kind of build some stuff up back here and we take some of this down and do some of our terraforming. So that's going to wrap up the planning part. Now comes some of the fun part, and that is getting this thing built. So I am going to do a time lapse of me putting this thing in. You guys want to watch? Cool. Let's get right into it then. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that little time lapse. And hi, Mr. Donkey. What are you doing? Do you like this? Is this okay? You're not sure? Yeah, I'm not either. But you like it. Okay, well, okay, you guess you like it. He likes it. What do you guys think? Yeah, so this is kind of what I was gonna go for. I kind of like this. I like this stripped log look on the interiors. It kind of has a little bit of a lighter, brighter appearance. And then we've used these spruce stairs as an accent to kind of break that up. And I think I'm going to use some more spruce, maybe some trap doors or something on these, just to kind of really add a little bit more of an accent, maybe even on the undersides here. But we'll try that at another time. For right now, I wanted to sort of explain what's going on. So what I've done is I have half slabbed this floor, and it is the bottom slab, which means this is not spawnable. Now, the logs are spawnable, and so are these blocks. These are full polished andesite blocks. So I have to watch out there. I got to make sure everything is lit or I'm sleeping. Otherwise, we may have some very unwanted visitors. But yeah, so this is kind of what I'm thinking. And what'll happen is I'm going to have track that's going to go in right here. And let me show you what'll end up happening in something like this. I will probably do something like a so. And there will be track that'll run across this. It'll turn the corner, it'll go to here. There'll be some kind of a block. I don't know yet what's going to be on that back side, and maybe more of this stripped oak wood. I haven't decided yet. Or maybe even a stripped spruce. That might work all right. I don't know. Stripped spruce might work just fine. But anyway, track will come up here and it will go in and dead end right here. So we'll have villagers in a minecart. They'll come up here and boom, we'll seal the deal by putting a block or something in front of them. I haven't figured out what I want that to be yet. And then we'll come back through and we'll take these back out. This will stay and we will grab our slabs, the correct ones. There we go. And we'll just throw those down there because, you know, why not? We'll put those back like that and boom, there you go. And again, we'll have something in front of here that will kind of keep them set apart. My goal is to have either right here or behind them. Maybe this first block right here is actually their tool, their job station, that is. And I wanted to fill you in on a couple more little things. What we will have going on here is eventually, like I said, up top here, that will be another story to this. And more than likely what I'll do is I will maybe have a balcony that runs around the edge here. And then we may have another row of villagers up top here. I haven't decided yet. But that's going to be for future expansion. As of right now, this is going to give us a lot of villagers. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 villagers that way. And then we'll have enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 11 more. So that's going to give us a pretty good amount of villagers, well over 20. And so that's pretty good. Now, the way that I am envisioning this working, and let me go down here to kind of show you the game plan. The game plan is, if you look at these villagers, we have certain trades that we can get from each villager, depending on what their job is and all that stuff. Now, what you guys probably don't know is this villager here has this trade for mending. It's 26 emeralds. That's pretty expensive. Well, what we can do is we can actually let him get infected by a zombie. Won't kill him, just get him infected by a zombie. And then we can cure them. Once we cure the villagers, their trades will go a lot cheaper because they're all kinds of happy with us that we saved them. So this gentleman right here that has 24 paper for an emerald, if we were to let him become infected and then cure him, the first time he may not do it, but maybe the second or the third time, this trade can get down as low as 1 piece of paper for 1 emerald. Now that is going to be huge for us. If we can get that to happen, then what we can do is come in here with a stack of paper and we can do up to 15 trades with this particular guy. So we would get 15 emeralds and then he would have to refresh. So we would have to go to the next one and we would have 3, 4, 5, maybe even 8 of these villagers with a cheap trade that would allow us to get all kinds of emeralds. And that is where the overpowered part of villager trading comes in. If we can do that, then when we come over to our mending guy or a fire aspect guy or anything else like that, we can do the same thing. And let's say this one gets down to where it's just a handful of emeralds. Well, we can get a stack of emeralds like it's nothing. So we can get a mending book for cheap. And I mean cheap. So that is the game plan. That's what we're planning on doing. Today, all we're planning on doing is we're planning on getting some villagers in here, and then we are going to make sure they're nice and cozy, and we are going to make sure we get some trades that we like and go ahead and lock them in. If we were to turn them into zombie villagers, they will remember their trade if they are locked in. They do have a chance to lose that trade if you do the zombie conversion and you convert them back, they may lose that. So we need to make sure that they don't lose that trade. Another thing to keep in mind is it's not 100% when you do that. So we may lose some villagers. And thankfully we have the villager breeder going strong, but hopefully we won't lose any. So that's the game plan. I need to go get some more of this smooth stone and get some more slabs so that we can put a ceiling in here and maybe get this door area kind of cut so we can see what things are going to look like and make sure things are lit up pretty well. We need to make sure that's all done. So I'm going to do that off camera. And then when I come back with you guys, what I'd like to do is maybe go ahead and have a few lecterns or something set up here. And I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our villagers down here for right now. If we ever want to move them, we can always go ahead and put them in a minecart and we can send them upstairs and get them rearranged. But I think for right now, since this is what we have built, we're going to put them down here. So let me do some work, and through the magic of the movies, I will see you guys in just a split second. Welcome back. And while you guys were away, I went ahead and did some stuff with the villagers and finished up some stuff here in this building. As you can see, I have the roof started. I have the half slabs. I've got it taken over to about where I think the next level of this trading hall will probably be. I also put some trap doors on here. I think that adds a nice bit of kind of rounds things out a little bit and kind of makes it look like we've got some wood paneling on the walls and stuff like that. I kind of like that. This will end up probably going away or getting moved down, and we'll kind of have a way that we can view those villagers, and I may actually expand this and make it so we can see what's going on down there. What I've got going on here is I've got some villagers in already. I went ahead and did that. And what I did was, just like I said, we put them in a minecart down below. We bring them up here. And then when they go in here, if they don't already have a trade, and they will not here very shortly have trades, when they come up here, they'll go in, they'll see this workstation, and they'll say, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be, in this case, a librarian, because I see a lectern, and boom, they turn into a librarian. So what we've got here right now is we've got a respiration guy, and then we come down here and we have a mending one. This is the one that we had down below. Then we have a paper trade, another paper trade, and then we have a paper trade and an unbreaking 3. That's a pretty good one. You can see I've got that one locked in. And then this one is Aqua Affinity, which is a pretty good one. And for 19 emeralds, that's not bad. Hopefully that one doesn't go away. Aqua Affinity, if I have not talked about it before, will let you mine blocks underwater. And that is a really good one to have. You can just put that on one of your pieces of armor, and that works pretty well. So let me go out here and sleep, and then I will go over a few more things with you. All right, back from our nap. What I wanted to go over here real quick before we wrap things up is if we were to bring a villager up here, and let's say we're not crazy about their trade, what we have the ability to do up here is we can break one of these blocks, and then that villager, if it's the one that they are tied to, it will cause them to lose their profession, and then we can put it back down, and within a few moments they will pick up a new one and they will have new trades. So we have the ability to control that, and we can pull that off and reset it to get what we want. Now obviously, if we have already traded with the villager, this person we have not, this one we have. If we have already traded, if I break this, it will not change anything. They are locked into those trades. So we can only do that on the ones that don't have a profession. Now down below, I've got the villagers. They're still breeding and whatnot. So we can bring those up here, and then we can put in whatever we would like. We can have armors, and we can have all kinds of things to get really good stuff. So that is the plan for this room. Now, in between episodes, I'm probably going to do a little bit of cleanup on this stuff. Probably go ahead and start designing something on this side so we can get this sorted out. And then I want to work out some sort of a lighting system and a ceiling for this, so we can put our next level up here and make this into a multi-story trading hall. This is going to be pretty cool, pretty cool. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we are actually going to set up a system so that we can let zombies come in here. And once we have a trade locked in, like this one here, like this one here, mending, we're going to turn this one into a zombie villager. And if we do that, like I said before, I think I said it before, if we do that and we cure this guy and he's back to normal, that will make this trade much cheaper. And if we do it once or twice, as long as it doesn't kill him, then we will be able to get very, very cheap trades. That is why these here that we have, the emeralds that we can get from paper, we want to do that to these too, so that way we can get emeralds very quickly, and then we can come over to somebody like this one and we can go ahead and trade up and get mending books very easily. Or if we start doing the masons, we can get stone easily and all that kind of stuff. So that is going to help out a ton. But that is going to wrap things up for today's episode. We went a little bit longer than I really wanted to, but that's okay. Hopefully you all are enjoying it, trying out some new things with some B-roll and things like that. So let me know down in the comments if you're liking that stuff, or if you have any suggestions for me on how I can do this better. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by, and make sure to leave a comment, smash that like button. And if you really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. It helps me out quite a bit, and I'd love to be able to do this for you guys more often. It'd be pretty awesome to be able to do this full time. So that's going to wrap it up for today, and we will see you guys in the next episode.